Hey everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing Godforge. We have a video to react to, and yeah, there's a lot of things here that I haven't seen, even though I literally work for Fateless, including what's exactly on the screen right now, so let's watch and react together. Alright, so we have Godforge, Beta 2, Arena, Pantheons, major reworks. When can we play? When is the beta? The other details. I've heard a couple spoilers that I didn't already know. But overall, there's a lot I didn't already know or see yet. I do work for Fateless as a community manager, and I did know the estimated date, at least the close time frame, and I'm not going to be surprised by that one. But there's some things that I don't always get to see or hear until they're decided. And I think Simon also took the time before making this video to clarify as much information as he could. And literally, as we're clicking the teaser of this video. So yeah, we're going to do a watch and react to the new beta information video. I'm going to give my most honest opinion that I can based on a content creator, a player looking forward to playing games in this genre, and, you know, a little bit of the insider feel too, because it all matters and it all, you know, it all has a different impact. But yeah, literally on the screen, this looks very different. I don't know how I feel about it, so we'll wait till we get there. But yeah, let's watch the intro. Let's see what's up, and
Arena and Pantheons will be like the two big new game modes. Honestly, I feel like it's going to play like a different game. From the people that have played the first beta. Weapons are going to have an ability rather than just be a passives. It's going to feel way more impactful to summon with Ether Stones. We're actually aiming to do beta 2 in the beginning.
Okay. Everything is subject to change. This isn't always true.
Hey guys, this is Simon from Fateless. I'm back from Greece. I was exploring the ruins of Heracles and doing all sorts of
I love this overlay. Good job, Graham. This looks really cool. This video overlay overall, like just having it's normally one thing to have such an overlay for like YouTube videos, but this gives it more context, gives it a feel, gives it a vibe. I guess what am I talking about? I have an overlay right now. Never mind, ignore me.
today, and honestly, so yeah, had a good time. But we are back to talk beta 2. So when's it going to drop? What's it going to include? What do we want from you guys? And perhaps I'm going to show you a few sneak peeks along the way in this video. So firstly, when's it going to drop? We basically aim to have all of the work done by the middle of October. But then actually what we have is we have this period of time where it's called like hardening the build. And a lot of that is based on bug fixing, making sure that our optimization comes in on point. We allow more devices to play, all that type of stuff. So we're actually aiming to do beta 2 in the beginning of December. Be first or second week. The exact date is not confirmed, but it's going to be December, and we're going to have likely a 2-week playtest to get you guys back in. Could be longer, we're not sure yet, but ultimately that's what we're going to be looking to do. So
beta December 2+ weeks. So hopefully early on. We don't want to go through Christmas. To be clear, like most companies, the Fateless team has like a week off for Christmas break. So I don't think they're going to want to work, or most of us are not going to want to work over the Christmas holiday, or be able to, not even wanting to, what I should say is. So I have a feeling they would not want to run a live DevOps game over that unless it was to the point. I mean, to be fair, I've seen other games do it. Like, I think Void Hunters was open for like a month or 2, and you just kind of let it go, and you don't do any updates. It's just, here it is. You can play it for a while, and I guess people just know, hey, it's Christmas. If something breaks, it breaks. Or we'll have like an emergency team in case something dramatic happens, but that there will be no updates for those few days or whatever. But there wouldn't be many updates anyway for beta, except for this fact of testing update pushes or bug fixes if there are issues. So I guess I could see it both ways, but I do know personally it's a rough time to hear December, unless it's the beginning of December, or yeah, unless it's to the point where The game gets started for a couple weeks, everything just feels good, and you're just like, okay, people, we're gonna leave it open for the next, over the holiday break while some of you have the time off. Enjoy, play. We're gonna have a little bit of more minimal support, but have fun and play. I could see that too. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
Early December release, and up until that point, we're going to be basically just polishing and improving the build. But we've got a lot of changes as well. Honestly, I feel like it's going to play like a different game from the people that have played the first beta. So I'm going to start by calling out something which is not going to get in, but is being worked on, because it is something which I'm super pumped about. I've spoken about it in a couple of videos.
Which is not
but we've
going
got
to get
here
in.
our kind of like rework of the Sanctum. The reason why this won't actually get like fully in is because it's a big 3D scene that we need to build, and we're like just managing our team, really, like how much of our team can we allow to go into this versus some of the other stuff I'm going to tell you about today. But ultimately, we've got this kind of like prototype which functions and it does a whole bunch of stuff, but ultimately it's not going to be ready in terms of like a polished 3D scene. So we're not even going to try and do it, because it would end up just like pulling us away from some other things that we need to change and we really want to change.
Yeah, that's interesting for me to know, because I wasn't sure. I know that was a possibility that it would actually be ready by then, or at least the basic would be ready. But I think that's smarter. Instead of adding in something that's maybe not done, that could have a lot of bugs, or just visually not be complete, not be as polished, and then it would also get more judgment if it's not like totally ready and totally perfect and totally tested and whatever, and the effects aren't there, the lighting's maybe not quite there yet or ready yet, or all the accessories and whatever they want in the decorations of the environment. People might be like, man, this isn't that interesting. They might think it's boring. So I'd rather not doing it at all than doing something lightly finished.
So Sanctum is being worked on, but it won't be in for the beta. We know we want it for early access, so we're kind of like working on how the camera systems work and the functionality works. How many of those rooms do we want to actually zoom in and see versus just kind of like click and enter, that type of stuff. So a lot of work going on in the background on that stuff. Because you've almost got like this track of work we're doing for beta 2, but then we've also got another pot of work we're already looking at and prioritizing for early access. And then it goes on from there. Don't forget, early access is not like the global launch of the game. It will be the first proper launch where you guys could spend, that type of stuff, but that's going to be coming into next year now. Okay, let's get cooking then on what's going to come in. So the hero roster scene is going to feel completely different. So currently, we've been doing a lot of work on optimization of visual, that type of stuff, and that will continue. If you guys literally look at like alpha to first beta to even where we are today, it's moved a lot, and it's going to continue to move a lot more. We've got a kind of mock-up here of how we want it to be implemented. So there's a bunch of changes going on right now. We're trying to make the user flow much easier for players. So less buttons, but more.
I don't like only having 2 and having them so big, though. I feel like that would take forever to scroll through, and then you'd never use that display option because it would just take forever to scroll through when the game has 200 heroes in it. Not that you're going to have all 200, but even once you have 30, 40, 50, it's going to feel like too many to scroll through, which will happen pretty quickly with pulling rares, epics, and the others. I don't like this only 2 setup. No, the row of 2. It definitely needs to be smaller hero cards. I have to be honest, I love the feel. Like, I like the setup over here, the way this feels, but I don't like the style of borders personally. I don't know how finalized that is. I mean, nothing's final. I haven't seen this yet, so this is something that as staff playing, I haven't been able to give my opinion on yet either. But I don't love the borders. It just doesn't feel, I don't know. I don't know that feels like a different style of game than what this is going for to me. Maybe something more mechanical. I don't know what it but yeah, the vibe for these actual frames are not my preference, but I guess whenever I can properly share my feedback for that, I will try my best to figure out why, to articulate my opinion. But I love the way the title here, hero name, I love the way this looks. This looks incredible. I like the top here having this nice clear separation for the resources. I like the little settings button and the X button being near but not exactly the same size. I like that. Obviously, all this is a work in progress, like it's showing. They're in the process of dealing with a lot of UI and UX changes, so I'm sure some of this could look different even by beta, but pretty cool to see such a big change though. So I'm definitely curious to see how it all comes together myself.
Or a nav within the buttons, basically a user experience that just feels a lot better. So when you're going to upgrade, there'll be a bunch of options in there. We're trying to kind of like personalize the hero cards to be our own and feel like, you know, when you're looking at this is Godforge, which is definitely what we want. And yeah, just trying to make sure that it feels modern, it feels cool, and that type of stuff. So you might be like, oh man, there's so much extra work going into this. Yeah, there is, but because a lot of the systems already exist, it's just really like it's a lot of visual paths.
Yeah.
Some of the user experience stuff, the UX, does mean that we sort of change the order of flow, but because the flow already exists, it's just kind of like if you imagine a web page that links from one page to the next. It's like, well, we're just going to change where those links are. It still takes you to the same place. But yeah, a lot of the visuals will change. There's a lot of work being done here because we spend a lot of time in the hero roster. So we want the experience to be good and we want it to feel great. Things like being able to mass promote, being able to get someone to level 60 easily without tons of clicks. Stuff like that is really important to us. So that's going to be in the mix for beta 2. It's very important. And that sort of ability to have the flow through other screens is really important as well. So this is the mock-up of our arena.
Ooh. Okay, so one thing I really like about this UI change is I noticed on the other screen, the way the buttons are, I like that they're all slightly textured and have gradients to them. Like it's not just a flat color. There is a little bit of depth to them. Like all these little icons, I mean. I liked that on the other part of the hero roster. And I like that way that looks here. This looks cool. I do like that. I don't know that something about this, the frames aren't quite doing it for me, but maybe I'll change my mind too. Or maybe there's still something else that will slightly change that may make me feel different too. I don't know. I can't decide. That's the hard part, right? All right. So I guess I'll let him describe it before I say anything else.
Arena and Pantheons will be like the two big new game modes, I guess, within beta 2. So
oh, that's true. There was literally no arena last time. So you guys didn't even get to see what it looked like before. Oh, right. That's a thing. Or maybe, no, you did because Simon played it on live stream and showed it in videos. All right, let's see. I like the big icon a lot. And I do like this bar. This glow of like molten color fits Godforge vibe, right? Like anything that looks like molten or lava, like a forging metal. You know, I like that as a vibe. Okay. Yeah, overall, I like it. I like the change a lot as far as the separation and the organization of everything. Definitely much better. And I love the tabs.
Pantheons will be like the two big new game modes, I guess, within beta 2. So you'll be able to come in, fight in arena, you'll be able to fight in Pantheon boss and create Pantheons and do things like quests for Pantheons. So you'll be able to do questing, you'll be able to buy stuff from a shop. Hopefully that's less like a 92.67% chance. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff we want to do around Pantheons.
Okay, Pantheon shop might not be ready.
Arena will be like the first kind of like iteration of Arena, but you will be able to go through different ranks. You'll be able to see things like your win streaks, your best teams. You'll be able to plant your defense. All the stuff you'd expect from this type of game for like a base level arena. It's our first iteration.
Every game kind of needs that, I feel.
We will have the campaign remodeled for the sort of new version of campaign. So that will be in its what we class as an MVP state. So you'll be able to go in, you'll see the different nodes that you can fight.
This
so if
looks good,
my campaign
man.
video
Nice
that I
edit.
did with Paul, you should go and watch that. I explain what we're doing there, but it's very much more like you go into the Avalon realm and you're exploring the realm. So you might be able to find unlocks for dungeons in there. You might be able to find a crafty dude in a campfire that's going to sell you wares. You might run into a horde mode where you've got endless waves coming at you. All that type of stuff is going to be in, but it's going to be in its like first iteration. So it's like we want information from you. Does it feel good? Does it feel better? Does it feel like I'm exploring this universe of Godforge? So that's going to be in. There will be some additional kind of like dialogue, cinematic stuff as well. So we've been working on a lot of the Avalon ones right now. So they'll be voiced, they'll be in, and they will only play once unless you decide to go back in and play them. So that was sped up there. It's not the right timings, but yeah, you get the idea. So there'll be like a couple of realms where that's going to be finished. Also doing a ton of work on the Godforge. So in the different versions.
Yeah, I'm really curious about how this is going to visually change, because this is so beautiful and so interesting. I think people really liked the layout of this. Now I get like the actual UI, if our text and fonts and the style change a little bit overall, that might change too, but I love this scene. Although it doesn't mean we couldn't still use it, right? Like this could be how you go through and pick your dungeons or something else. So I hope we find a way to utilize this, or maybe this is how we view the story. It's the Saga Book 1. Maybe this could be how the repository, like the library is for watching just the videos. Oh, that would be great. If we end up not utilizing this style, because it was so cool. So I'd be sad not to see some of this in the game, because I thought it was one of the coolest factors.
A different version of Sanctum, the Godforge is going to look like our Godforge, which is this, and it's not going to look like sort of like the Stonehenge type of vibe. But for the beta, it's still going to have the same sort of Sanctum screen. So we're still going to have this entry into Godforge, but the experience is going to be different. So it's going to feel way more impactful to summon. With our ether stones. It's gonna get those moments of almost like ramping anticipation if you get a legendary.
I love the new style of summoning.
Some cutscene type vibes for some summons, not nowhere near all of them, but there's going to be kind of like a handful of our legendaries are going to have those in, and that's going to be working.
I've seen them; they look incredible.
A lot of feedback around the summoning experience. So that's really important to the game. It's really important to how our sort of players interact. We're also doing some changes in terms of like combat. So things like our weapons are going to have an ability rather than just be a passive. So you can choose if you want to use a weapon ability versus your hero ability. Just opens up like more interesting things for combat. So that will be in and will be testable. The other big one, which is not sexy to look at, but it's super important, is there's just going to be tons of optimization. So it's going to be smaller initial download size. It's going to be way faster patch sizing. There's going to be more opportunity for lower end devices to come in, and upper level devices won't run super hot and burn your hands and all that type of stuff. So optimization is basically one of the biggest blocks of work that we've got going on. And that also includes like visuals. Like you can see, maybe I'll show you a quick battle where we are.
The game looks so good on my new phone. Like I have the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra, so it's like the higher end of what's out there. But my God, it looks crisp. It looks smooth. The lighting just looks fantastic. Kind of reminds me of even like back when Alpha was happening. The game actually, there was a period, it goes in waves like he says, because like there's optimizations that happen, then changes come in and things are less optimized, then they get fixed and it like kind of ebbs and flows. But I remember there being a period where the game just looked so polished on the phone that it was just crazy. And I feel like that now. I feel like the game looks better on the phone for me in most cases, which is really cool because a lot of people are going to experience it that way too. All
right, now if we go into combat, a lot of the maps and the lighting and the work.
That looks freaking good. I don't remember seeing this one. I don't think I got to Ecker yet. I made a new account like a week ago and I haven't played at all as a team member. So yeah, I do play and can play as staff, and we're supposed to. They want us to. And I haven't seen some of the changes like this. It looks beautiful.
It's just kind of like being improved non-stop, really. We've got a great team that are kind of like working on this stuff. So yeah, a lot of work is being done here to just kind of like crisp up the visuals, reduce some of the cost that we have for our environments. So actually a cool piece of work going on right now that if you move your screen, if I was to move my screen around, I can't do it right now, but anything I can see in the background is being drawn. Anything you're not seeing right now is basically being hidden from your sites. And what that means is we've got way less draw tools going on, which means we can optimize much easier. So lots going on there to just make gameplay feel much slicker and we can therefore put more polygons on the screen. Like there's a whole lot that goes on because of that. So yeah, optimization is one of the biggest like pillars of improvement for what we're doing. So we have a bunch of tooling so we can understand stuff better going on. Combat speed is also being looked at. So that's one of our kind of like key pillars of work. And I suppose the other one that's gone in is a gold dungeon. So gold dungeons is going to be a thing. She looks incredibly bugged right now. So this is actually, that's another big pillar, is like hero bugs. So part of that hardening time is basically to try and have the hero roster as bug free as possible for when you guys come in next. There was way too many bugs last time, so that's super important to us, is to make sure that your experience playing in the next beta gets much closer to the experience of actually playing a released version of the game. And I think for us, it's kind of it's one of our key areas that we're going to be looking at in that period of time from sort of mid-October to December, where it's just like, how many heroes can we just get rock solid? So we're doing a lot of hero validation right now, and then that creates the bug list, and then the dev team and the tech design team start to just kind of like go through one by one and make sure those bugs are fixed. So I mean, there's tons, honestly, there's tons going on, which is why the time is kind of like elongated in terms of when we wanted to release the beta 2. But we do want a lot of feedback so that when we get into that early access, the game is just feeling like super crisp. Internally, we're doing a bunch of playtesting right now on the draft mode, on the tower, things like that. But we're probably not going to put it in for beta 2 because we want to improve it. Like the feeling right now is decent, but it's not brilliant, and we definitely want for those to come in and feel brilliant. So what can we do whilst we wait? Obviously I'll be in the draft mode, I'll release the beta 2, but we do want a lot of feedback so that when we get into that early access, the game is just feeling like super crisp. Internally, we're doing a bunch of playtesting right now on the draft mode, on the tower, things like that, but we're probably not going to put it in for beta 2 because we want to improve it. Like I thought tower was going to make it. It's decent, but it's not brilliant, and we definitely want for those to come in and feel brilliant. So what can we do whilst we wait? Obviously I'll be keeping you guys updated. We would love for you to come and help us with this hero showdown. This is fun. Selection right now. I'll link this down below, but this is basically how cool it looks, enabling us to improve our marketing assets. That's the main thing here. So we're looking at what people resonate with in terms of our portraits, so we can make good choices in places like the App Store, etc. So you basically go through this hero showdown and just select the ones that pop for you, the ones that you would be interested in clicking on if you saw them in an App Store. That's the main thing to think about. Yeah. So which ones really stand out to you as something which attracts your interest, for example. And we've had a good nearly 1,000 people do this already. It's been really helpful. So just going through, it takes about a minute of your time, and you're basically like, yeah, which ones naturally draw my eye? And you can go again if you've got more time, but whatever. But I'll link that down below. Lastly, there will be a mini game that drops between now and beta 2. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a little bit different from what we did last time. Different. We've got some of the sort of web team working on that right now. So yeah, watch this space. But there will be a mini game coming in between so that we can give you something cool to do as well. But yeah, I swear someone said the old mini game was coming back. No, something different. I don't know what's happening. I didn't even know there was going to be a mini game. But that besides hearing right before I watched this video, someone was talking about it. That there's gonna be the mini game back, but yeah, not the same thing, which is fine and good because we already did that, right? Do something a little different. But what? I don't even know. Appreciate everyone's enthusiasm. I know everyone wants to get into the game as soon as possible. I want you in the game as soon as possible, but we also want you to have a great experience, which is what we're working on right now. So there you go. I've been Simon from Fateless. Have yourself a great week, and I'll see you real soon. Okay, so I guess I will sum this long-ass video up because I talked after as much as I could. I didn't want to overly talk over him because then we can't hear either one of us. If I was just a player, you'd be like, and guys that are watching this, 99.9% of you that are not working behind the scenes or whatever, or let's be honest, 90% of people are probably not even patient because we're not. As humans, we're not patient usually. Or we think about things from how it affects us. Not saying selfish, but
it affects you differently than it depending on your role and how, and like just being excited to play something, finding out it's going to take longer than you expect, it is going to bum you out, and that's fair. But I'm so glad that the team is taking longer to make a polished experience better, because we kind of, I don't want to say we underestimated, but maybe like the first wave of beta, we're like, it's fine. There's hero bugs. They don't affect the whole game. It just affects a hero. It's fine. But no, it wasn't fine. Those hero bugs were incredibly frustrating and made some things more unplayable than maybe they realized at first. And or certain heroes just didn't get tested because they did, or like, who knows, like maybe they didn't have time to hero validate them all because you can only do so much. But now our QA team is a lot bigger. Now we have the ability to do that properly. I think beta 1 was a bit rough to a lot of people, and that's totally fair. And I definitely experienced a lot of bugs myself, so I know I reported them too. I'm there, I get it. But the modern player of these games in this genre, we're doing things very different with Fateless, right? Fateless is putting out all the info way sooner and way more than the average game in development. And because of that, you get a lot more scrutiny, you get a lot more things that people can critique that they wouldn't even normally see. And when it comes to putting out a beta or anything, people feel like it's the game, even though it's not ready yet. Betas are so polished these days. Like whenever I played a game that is in beta so far, it feels like the game's completely done, just maybe missing some content. Like, okay, I played the beta, I'm stuck, that's all I can do, that's fine, but the game feels good. The game needs to feel good, because that's someone's first impression. If a beta feels terrible, an alpha feels terrible, or whatever feels terrible, they might never look back again. And the first impression is so important. Like, I'm playing Dragonair Silent Gods on this channel. You guys can check my other videos. I'm actually very happy to be back with Dragonair, and I hit a bit of a rough spot with some seasonal quirks that they're still working out, but they do have a solution. And that game really, you know, was a game I was passionate about and really loved from day one of playing the beta. But the release was messy, and people didn't like the style, and it took them a long time to change it. And because it took so long and there were so many issues and they had the US shutdown happen, a lot of people never looked back and gave them a second chance. And you don't always get a second or third chance, but we don't want that to happen with Godforge either, right? We want everyone to be super happy and excited. Okay, guys, that is it for me. Be sure to, I guess when it comes to me as a content creator, I'm still here. This channel is posting Dragonair regularly. I'm also keeping an eye on Void Hunters, which I really need to do an update video for. I'm going to just combine a bunch of stuff the next time I see a post, I think, if I can do that before then I go to Gamescom. I also do occasional first hour of gameplay videos checking out new games. If I get sponsorships to check out fun games, I pretty much do that on this channel too, so I might find something to keep you busy while you wait for Godforge. And over on my Watcher of Realms channel, that's actually my main channel that used to be for Raid back in the day. That is, yeah, my main thing. And we have Assassin's Creed collab about to start. So a lot of stuff to keep me busy with gaming and content creation personally. There's a lot of interesting games out there, guys. Don't be too frustrated. Just play something else in the meantime. It's not the end of the world. Beta will be here before we know it. And I'll see you in the next video.